lost in the gram.
Anyway, Sports Squad episode something or another.
No idea.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. We lost track.
Episode Q.
18, 17? I don't know. Anyway, we are recording this the night of the first day of March Madness. Technically, third day of March Madness.
Yeah.
But I don't like to talk about that. So we're talking about March Madness.
Damn playing games.
I guess that's a good place to start. Is the playing games. I don't see the point of them.
No, I don't either.
Because you're only adding 4 extra teams.
It's just kind of unnecessary, really. It really is unnecessary. Especially, and it doesn't make a lot of sense because I hate the fact that they do it with an 11 seed. And I think we talked about this on one of the earlier episodes. It's like when they put in an 11 seed, and like an 11 seed has a legitimate shot at upsetting a 6 seed. Notice Loyola Chicago. Upsetting Miami today. I mean, that's 11 seed being a 6 seed. So I think I said something. I would change it to where like all the playing games are like all the 16 seeds. That way, like a 16 seed, like all 16 seeds at least have a chance of winning a game. Yeah, because you know they're not going to win a game in an actual tournament. So
no, they're not. And I just don't see the point of adding it. Like it was at 64 teams.
Yeah,
like you're not going to up it to the next.
No, you're not.
Like
because
20 something.
Because that'd just be ridiculous. That's like all of Division I basketball.
Yeah,
and it goes and it'll likely go for
like 5 weeks.
Yeah, it'll go like 5 months.
Like 5 straight.
It'd be like the NBA. It'd be like the NBA playoffs.
that get milked over 2 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's the thing, though. I never understood why it was how they chose 11 and 16 seeds. Yeah. One of my coworkers tried to explain it, and he was like, "Well, it's based off of what region they're in." And I don't know. What difference does region does it make?
Like I said, just give
if you're playing to get in, you should be the lowest seed. That's just common sense.
Right, right, exactly. Like it's a play-in for a reason. Like I feel like if you're an 11 seed, like you should already be in. Like you're either in or you're out. You know.
Yeah.
The 16 seed is like those like teams that are like on the bubble. And I never understood the team like oh yeah, you're on the bubble, but then you'll be a 10 seed. Like
wait, hold on.
Yeah, like and I know it's like how like the RPI is and check the schedule and everything like that. But at the same time, I mean. Like whatchamacallit, Oklahoma was like a subject of a lot of controversy because they got in a tournament when people didn't think that they should have been in the tournament. They were in there as a 10 seed and they lost today to Rhode Island. But I mean, people should have known, and because they lost like 15 of their last like 19 or no, 15 of the last 19 games or something like that, or like 11. Yeah, it was like I'm pretty sure it's 15 of the last 19 games they lost, and they still made it into the tournament. And it started off really well, but they just died to the end of the season. Same thing with Arizona State. Arizona State made it in for one of the playing games where they played Syracuse as an 11 seed, and they lost as well. And they started the season really well. They're in the top 10, and then they like lost multiple games in a row and everything like that. And they didn't really finish off the season well, but they were like the whole thing was predicated on their early season success, which didn't make a lot of sense.
That's the thing too. Like, it's such a weird system, and I feel like not even Joe Lenardi understands. What's happening.
He just kind of guesses. Yeah. I mean,
like it's all like you could say strength of schedule, which kind of has a basis. Because obviously SEC schools are tougher than South schools.
Yeah, exactly.
I forgot about my story. That story is being told tonight. So it's that kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's like one thing is the regular season winner versus the conference tournament winner. Yeah, I always thought, I don't know how possible this is, the regular season winner should get in. Yeah, and then they maybe not play in the conference tournament, and then the conference tournament winner gets in. Yeah, because sometimes, especially in the smaller
levels, it's with those automatic bid type situations. Yeah, like
the 3rd or 4th conference seed wins. Yeah, and they get in over a school they like lost twice to win the regular season.
Yeah, exactly, and like schools get snubbed in that situation too. Like if you look at like Vermont this year, had had the record and everything like that. They won the regular season title and everything like that, and they lost on a buzzer beater shot to UMBC. And and now they're not in the tournament. Now they're in the NIT. So I mean, and it's not fair for a lot of those schools because they're not going to be ranked or anything like that, and they perform the entire season. They obviously perform well enough to win the regular season conference championship, but they just didn't win in the tournament. And a lot of times they make it far in the tournament too. Yeah, they usually make it to the championship game, and something crazy happens or something like that.
Any given Sunday rule.
Then madness happens because it's March.
Everybody just I don't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Good old March Madness.
And another big issue, especially with this season, especially because of the FBI probe. There was a lot of controversy because there was a few teams that should have made it into the tournament that didn't make it into the tournament. Like USC, they were second in the Pac-12. They had one of the better RPIs and strength of schedules and everything like that, and they didn't make it in over UCLA, who didn't have that great of a season. They came in as an 11 seed. Same thing with Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State beat Kansas twice, from what I remember, during the regular season, and then made it pretty far into the Big 12 tournament as well. They beat Oklahoma multiple times, and they were better than Oklahoma all season long, or towards the tail end of the season. But they didn't make it in because of the FBI probe. Same thing with Louisville. They didn't really make it in because of the FBI probe either. So
I didn't really notice until making the bracket Louisville didn't make it in.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's a lot of schools I didn't think were in this tournament.
Yeah. It was funny. I saw this one shirt that was that literally cracked me up. It was it had Louisville 1 seed and it was built like a bracket, Louisville 1 seed, FBI 16 seed. And it had the FBI going in as a 16 seed. That was pretty funny.
That's a good one, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, and that's what the situation with the NCAA. I mean, and we've aired a lot of grievances about the NCAA.
Those episodes.
And like I said, if you're not putting the best teams in, then you're hurting your entertainment value, and people are gonna watch it regardless because I mean, people like to make brackets, people like to be entertained. People want to watch a sport that they enjoy all day long. And, still around stories and storylines and everything like that. And I think you're the tournament missed out on an opportunity to actually have better basketball by not putting some of these teams in. And that's on them. That's something that they got to live with. But at the end of the day, they're still gonna have a ton of money. And
I think I know every conference needs to be represented.
Yeah,
I think so. It's kind of hard to fix, but I feel like it's kind of like the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
There are teams Florida Gulf Coast a few years ago.
The 15 seed that came in. Maybe Georgetown or somebody like that.
Beat Georgetown, and I think they beat some other huge school.
Yeah, they made it to the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16, but then they lost in the Sweet 16. Yeah, which is what happens to most of those teams.
Yeah, I mean,
they win their first weekend and then they lose in the Sweet 16. It's something well, except VCU that 1 year.
Yeah, VCU. South Carolina was like that last year, even though they're not a small school, but. I mean, they made it to the final. Yeah. I mean, they made it to the Final Four last year as an 8 seed, or they might have been even higher because there was they might have been a 10 seed.
I want to say they might have been double digits.
I think they were double digit seed.
But I know the one stat is no school below I want to say 8 seed has ever won the tournament. Mm-hmm. It's something like that. So if no double digit seed has ever won, at what point do you go, maybe we just shouldn't have them anymore? Yeah, and it's a harsh truth.
Yeah,
it's harsh. Really bad to say because then we don't get the 15-2 upsets. We don't get the 12-5 upsets.
You don't get that 14-3 upset with Mercer over Duke,
Mercer. Duke suffered a few.
They suffered really bad ones, yeah.
But that's the thing. It's cool the first weekend because it's mass chaos. You have games
starting at noon and going until midnight. Yeah. So you have basically 12 hours worth of basketball
for 4 straight days. Yeah, and then the next weekend is still pretty.
It's not a lot, but because the excitement in that first weekend is all of the the upsets and the Cinderella stories and everything like that. And then, after all those get knocked out and weeded out the way and everything like that, then it's, time for, actual real basketball, real teams to, potentially play for a championship and not, basically the warm-up games a lot of times and everything like that.
Yeah, and I actually had this argument with a coworker that I don't think a 16 seed will ever beat a 1 seed. And he says it'll happen, and he's twice my age, and he says it'll happen in his lifetime. And I was just okay.
I don't know if it will ever happen.
I honestly don't think it will. Because, it's been how many tournaments that it hasn't happened?
Yeah.
And it's not even, like, close. You know?
Yeah.
Like, look at what Villanova did today. And look at what happens most of the time with those 1 seeds. They're just that good that you play a play-in 16 seed. Like,
Penn had it. Penn had Kansas on the ropes. They were up 8 at one point. They lost by 16, but they had them on the ropes. But yeah, I mean, most of them are domination. Like UMBC playing Virginia tomorrow is going to be a dominating game. Yeah.
Well, it's been real.
Yeah. Who's the other 1 seed? What, Xavier?
Something funny.
Xavier playing Texas Southern. Because Texas Southern won their playing game against North Carolina Central, I think. Yeah, NCCCU or NCCU. Yeah, there we go.
I don't know. I think along with just about anything in the NCAA, there's usually a better solution. People they just fix it.
Right. They just like it how they're gonna do it. Like I said, I mean, and even and they're gonna, like I said, we've said this over the show and during the episodes and everything like that. It's like they're always looking out for the money. That's why they added these play-in games. It's 2 extra days of basketball. Of advertising and all these Capital One commercials with Charles Barkley, Samuel Jackson, and Spike Lee. Just getting those out there as much as possible.
Yeah, well, with this year's selection show, it's kind of weird. I didn't watch it, but I saw what they were gonna do on that Saturday, and a lot of people were like, "This isn't gonna work." Mm-mm. And then I saw the tweets when it was happening. So apparently, one, there's a live audience in the studio, which is why would
you can watch that at home? Yeah, you paid money for that?
Well, probably not. A lot of studio audiences are free.
Yeah,
but still, you went there.
You wasted your day.
Like late night shows in SNL are free tickets, but those are awesome to go to.
Yeah, exactly.
You go and sit in an hour in the CBS studios.
to watch guys talk about which teams made it into the tournament and what seed they are.
But then they went alphabetical too. They didn't go by region. They went, these are the teams that made it in by alphabetical order, and then they did the regions that they were in. So you kind of lost the excitement of we already made it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then all the teams are watching to see who they play, but everybody else already knows they're in. So
that's really dumb.
So that reaction when it revealed in the bracket, we made it. This is our seed. So I just there were 2 funny things that popped in my head. One was 4 years ago now. No. 3 years ago, 2015. Yeah, 2015's tournament. UC Santa Barbara made it in as a 16 seed.
Okay.
Their mascot is Peter the Anteater.
Was that UC Santa Barbara?
I think it's Santa Barbara. It was a UC school. Or San Irving? UC Irving?
Cal State Fullerton, I think. I could be wrong.
I definitely thought it was a UC school. It was a California school, and their mascot was Peter the Anteater. I know that. And of course, Peter, on his Twitter game, my Peter, for those of you who know who that is, tweeted at them and said, in my bracket, I have the school beating the 1 seed because their mascot is also named Peter. And then the school liked the tweet. I was like, how do you find this? Were you just searching Twitter?
Yeah, right?
And just having to find this, and then you not realize?
Oh yeah, it was California Irvine.
Yeah. So you see Irvine. Yeah. I was like, how do you find, Peter's Twitter of all Twitters?
Yeah, right.
At least, look at the bio and see,
the university's page,
yeah, it's Towson and all this. Anyway, the second story I have is back in my High Point days. I don't know if this has been established or not, but whatever. I was at High Point, which is a small school in North Carolina in the Big South Conference, and during a volleyball game, it wasn't basketball, but it was still funny. It was girls volleyball. I was in the pep band. For some reason, the pep band was playing at girls volleyball games.
Oh no, I've had a lot of that. When I went to the volleyball games at Kent, it was all pep band. For big games especially. If we played Akron or something like that, then we had a pep band because they're our rival.
Yeah, they're in the conference.
Yeah.
So we were in, and I was playing tuba, and it was 3 of us that played tuba, and we kind of became notorious throughout the season for our antics. So during this game, there's the team's family members are the audience. There's nobody else in this gym.
Yeah.
And we were saying all this extremely stupid trash talk at Radford. We would yell at them oh, you didn't make that point? You must be so mad, Ferd. They're like, oh, you lost that set? You must be sad for all game. Just hearing that. But then one...
Well, that's my ancestor.
Huh.
Albert Gary.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then it was during one serve, number 4 was serving on Radford. And the other two player, she's like bouncing the ball, doing that pre-serve stuff, you know. So as she's bouncing the ball, he yells in this empty gym, I went on a date with number 4, and she throws it up and he yells, and I never called her back. And I just love that. It's girls volleyball. 2, there's like 20 people.
Yeah, but so there's got to be not a lot of people in the gym.
Yeah. And we're just yelling at this team the entire time, making bad puns and calling them out on dates.
So I remember when I went to a volleyball game, I dressed up as bananas, and we were like yelling mashed potatoes every time they get ready to serve. Like the other team would get ready to serve, like, yeah, mashed potatoes. I don't know why. I don't know. I think I heard it in golf one time. Somebody yelled mashed potatoes, when Tiger Woods is about to putt or tee off or something. Oh man. It's fun to be a heckler in a small sport like that.
Yeah, it's fair as long as it's not too far,
right?
Because sometimes somebody says something, and everybody else is like, "Oh,
yeah, that's a little bit too much."
Yeah, but yeah, it's great. Anyway, back to March Madness. Good time being. Anything else we want to touch on before we get into our brackets? Because in our pre-production meeting over text 3 days ago, we established that we were going to put a friendly wager on this bracket. So, okay.
Are we just going to go with the one that we have our highest percentage in right now? Oh,
I don't know. You could do that if you want.
Okay.
I don't care. I only make one bracket because I feel like there are a couple close games that can go either way. Yeah. Especially the 8-9 matchups, right? Or the 12-5 upsets,
right.
Which one is it going to be? But I always think, if I'm going to pick them in this bracket, that's what I'm going to pick.
Yeah.
I'm not, it's like being, gambling, but choosing every team.
Yeah.
So that's my theory. I know some people make, 6 brackets.
Well, in the ESPN app, you can make up to 25.
Yeah. Why would you do that? And I know the odds are, if you get a perfect bracket,
it's
$1 million or so. We're
yeah, it's
more,
insane.
But the odds of doing that are 9 quintillion.
Yeah.
Which is absurd. Anyway, so I think we should lay out the rules of this wager. The brackets are set.
Yeah.
Right? We could keep it simple and just say whoever gets the most right wins.
Okay. Like better percentage?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I got you.
Or we could bring it down to winner. If you got the winner.
Okay.
So that, and then...
Yeah, the winner of the whole thing.
Yeah, or we could just say that as a tiebreaker.
Yeah. Who'd you have as your winner in your...
I have Gonzaga over Nova.
Okay. I have Michigan over Duke.
I think Nova's road to the Final Four is pretty easy this year.
I would agree to that.
Yeah, I think so.
Because who do they have? Villanova's. They're because they have what? I mean, they beat Radford.
They're really sad for...
The 2 seed there is Purdue, who I think is a little bit overrated. Texas Tech is a 3 seed there, and they eked it out against Stephen F. Austin. The 4 seed is Wichita State. I mean, Wichita State always has good coaching and has good players.
Make a run, except for 2 years ago.
3 years
ago, where they lost in around the 32.
They had
the 1 seed, so they're okay. That's easy. But then
after they went 30 and they only lost 1 game this season or something like that.
They set I don't know if they set the record or tied the record of most consecutive wins in a season. They didn't go undefeated though, but they went
Yeah, because the one team that went undefeated was that Kentucky team a couple years ago, and they lost in I want to say the Final Four to Wisconsin. And then Wisconsin lost to Duke in the championship, I want to say. Yeah, because that was the year with Jahlil Okafor and the first year of Grayson Allen.
Oh, Grayson.
Wow, I feel like Grayson Allen's been in college basketball for 85 years. Yeah. Is this how people felt about Christian Laettner? Like he was there for that long? Yeah, but Villanova has a pretty easy that East bracket is on the easier side, I'd say. I mean,
speaking of Philadelphia, before we get into our bet here, I was reading a blog by Crossing Broad, who I've plugged a couple times. Yeah. And they said Penn got screwed out of a higher seed.
Not surprising to me. I usually feel like the Ivy League schools are always usually a higher seed.
But he did some fair comparisons with the 15 seeds, and Penn had a better record than most of them. Yeah. And they had strength of schedule, they beat out a couple of them and all that stuff. And they're but somehow they only got a 16 seed. Yeah. They won their conference, and these 15 seeds didn't. So, but anyway, that killed about 30 seconds. So. So, we could either say whoever gets the most right, or...
Who has the right championship game, or more correct.
Or... round of 64 is 1 point, 32 is 2 points. Okay. So on and so forth. Yeah. And then whoever has the most total points wins.
What's your percentage at right now in your bracket?
35.
Really?
I don't know what that percentage means. I don't know if that's percentage
Yeah.
that I have right or percentage.
I think that's what you have right.
Because not everybody played yet.
Yeah. So it'll go up or down.
Loyola Chicago, of course.
Yeah, that one messed me up. But I didn't have Miami going far. I didn't have Miami going to the Sweet 16. So
I think I had them. And then I had South Dakota State as my 12-5 upset.
Oh, really? I had Davidson as mine.
I thought about Davidson, but I was like, yeah. I also had NC State because my uncle is a professor there.
Ah, okay.
So I was like, 8-9 matchup. Even though Seton Hall's jersey, but
who else did I have lose?
So you want to do it that way? Just
do percentage, I guess.
Yeah. And then we'll do a SportsSqwad after the tournament.
Yeah.
Who the winners?
I had just in my South bracket alone is where I had my 2 losses, because I had my 6-11 matchup where I lost with Loyola Chicago beating Miami, and then Davidson losing to Kentucky, because I had Kentucky getting upset by them.
Well, but everything else, leave it up to either percentage-wise or the points per round.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. I don't know which one is exactly fair.
Yeah.
I haven't done my research / math on what.
I think they have the scores up here. If you just hit the little info button right there, it'll tell you everything.
Oh. Well, what does that mean out of 3?
I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, so you want to go through some of the games right now? Because, I mean, most of the games have already gone.
We could establish where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So I have, starting in the South, are you using the okay.
Yeah.
So we should be on the same page here. So I got Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably start scoreboard or whatever. We could always check the app.
Yeah.
So I got Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have Loyola.
How far did you have Kentucky going?
Do
you have them to the Sweet 16?
No, I have them losing to Arizona.
To Arizona next round. I had that too.
Yeah.
I had Davidson losing, since I had Davidson beating Kentucky.
So I have Kentucky. So right now that I had Tennessee over Wright State.
Yeah.
Whoever chose Wright State, why?
Probably go to Wright State if you chose
Probably,
Wright State.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand that. I understand having loyalty to your university, but I had Kent State was in the tournament last year and they played UCLA in the first round, and there was no way I was having Lonzo Ball lose to Kent State University.
I had South Dakota State as my 12-5 upset.
Okay.
If there was any other seeding, I would have picked Ohio State, but 12-5.
Yeah.
Gotta pick one of them. I got Gonzaga, which ended up being
that was a close game. I was down to a nail biter on that one. That one.
I had
because I had them going to the Elite 8.
I have them winning it all.
So yeah.
Anyway, so quick pause on this real quick. I had the tournament up at work today, right? And I ran into the office to answer the phone, and I actually had to talk to a guy for a little bit. So I was talking to him, and then I was out of the corner of my eye, I was like, "This is a close game."
Yeah.
So the phone conversation ended with it was 12 seconds left, it wasn't completely done yet. Yeah. And I was like, "I'm just gonna stay in the office until this game is over." It's they saw me answer the phone. They just think I'm still on the phone. I had 2 other people covering practice because I had to cover practice. So I wasn't I just left the kids out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Houston, San Diego State's coming down the wire.
Is it really?
1 second left.
Oh, yeah.
San Diego State down by 2. I don't know if that's the ball, though.
I don't know either. I have San Diego State winning that game, so.
I had Houston. I have Houston losing to Michigan.
Oh, yeah. I have Michigan. I had Michigan winning the entire thing, so.
So I had Villanova, Texas Tech, Rhode Island, and Duke, and Kansas. So counting all the games, I currently have.
Sorry, I had the San Diego State Houston game going on right now.
Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I currently have 8 points. The game pending.
Oh, they just lost.
Who just lost?
San Diego State. That was close. That was a hell of an inbound pass.
Dude, those plays come to.
Yeah, some of these games. Yeah. Like the Rhode Island game today, the Rhode Island Oklahoma game, that came down to like the very last second. It went in overtime, but like the guy for Rhode Island missed like an easy like tip in basket. I don't know how it didn't make it in. I was like stunned when it didn't make it in. I was like, what? I think everyone in the restaurant at the same time was like, no.
I saw, what's his name? Mike Greenberg tweet about it. He was like, how did that not go in? But I didn't see what happened. So I was like, oh, maybe they just launched it and it hit the rim or something and it came close. I didn't realize it was a tip in.
Yeah, it was like, cause I think they had like 14 seconds left and the guy like dribbled out the clock and got up a shot with 4 seconds left and it rolled off and the guy came in for like tip in and just rolled off to the side. But they haven't end up winning in overtime because, Oklahoma all season's only been Trae Young.
That's how I was watching on my break. On my lunch break, I was watching the Oklahoma game, and another staff member came in. He's like, oh, hey, how you guys doing? And then he saw what I was watching. He's like, oh, how's Trae Young doing? And he just stayed for like 10 minutes. Yeah. I was like, you're awesome.
Trae Young just doesn't have anybody around him. There's one kid whose name is Kadeem Latin, whose grandfather was, this is a little fun fact right here, whose grandfather was part of the West, like the West team in West Texas that was the first team in college basketball to start all five, all 5 black players in the South. Yeah. Like his grandfather was like, was on that team. He was like a starter on the team. Like, I think his name was David Big Daddy Latin or something like that. Yeah. And
he was Big Daddy.
He was a big man back then, and he was 6'6" as a big man. That shows you how much the game has changed. Right. Yeah. So Kadeem Latin is his grandson's name. I thought that was pretty cool when I figured that out. That his grandfather was on the first on that team, all black starting team to win a national championship. Glory Road. Yeah,
I remember that. So I currently have 8 points in the first round.
Oh yeah.
So. In the round of 64, the next round will be if you get it right, you get 2 points, and then so on and so forth.
Right.
So I think it's actually a little better to do it that way. That way we're not totally out of it.
2, 3.
Like if we have a school lose, but one of our other schools keeps going.
6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 points right now.
You had Seton Hall, didn't you? That was the one.
Yeah, I had Seton Hall. Yeah. So because I had Seton Hall, and then my losses were San Diego State now, Miami, and Davidson.
So, as of this recording, Kelven is up by 1.
It's a nail biter, though.
Yeah, and we'll do one at the end. Well, we won't do another March Madness topic. We'll do something else. Yeah. But we'll reveal the winner at the beginning of our first Sports Squad after the national championship, which I think will be when we normally do it. But we'll cross the bridge when we get there. My idea for a wager, and feel free to put out your own idea.
Okay.
Is a Andy Nelson's dinner.
Sounds good to me.
So we are wagering one Andy Nelson's dinner. Loser buys the winner. Andy Nelson's of their choice. Can even go for the Jumbo Express.
Do Andy Nelson's dinner and a 6-pack of the beer they're choosing.
Oh, adding in the 6-pack.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Do it. So that is, you've heard it here. We will refer to the audio evidence if there's any discrepancies. Omen is a witness. So, yep. That's... So, just to go over the rules, we kind of talked it out as we happened, which me and Ryan actually did on a Squadcast as well. We just kind of talked out what we were doing as the episode. Round 1, 64 is 1 point. Round 2 is 2 points. Sweet 16 is 3 points.
Elite so on and so forth.
So every right team is at point value.
Okay.
At the end, we'll total it. If we're tied, we'll go to the winner and then just kind of work our way backwards.
Okay.
If we're still tied.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't be.
Yeah. had different winners. And,
so.
Well, we'll see. Who's your final four?
Nova, Gonzaga, and 2 other teams. I have Gonzaga over Arizona and Nova over Michigan State.
Okay. I have Michigan over Arizona and Duke over Villanova. So yeah, we should be different.
Yeah. So we'll figure out tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Like who made it? Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be worried. Gonzaga looked like they scared me.
Well, I was like, they've always make a run.
Yeah.
Last year they made it.
Yeah. I think they had better talent last year. They had that big dude.
Oh, they had that dude that was there for like 4 years.
Yeah, he was like a giant man. Yeah. They called him Shrek.
He was like super European, right? Or
he was like super European or something like that.
Like he could have been from Washington State.
Yeah, who knows? But
like his name was like super European. Who did they lose to last year? Because
they lost in a championship. Yeah. They lost to UNC.
UNC won last year. Yeah, I forgot even. Like UNC is another one where I like forget they do stuff. Yeah, because like they're UNC so often.
Yeah, and UNC is like different because they're like one of those like still blue blood programs, but they still don't really have a lot of like one and done players. Yeah, like and it's different. Like everybody else is one and done. Like Kentucky, Duke,
gap.
Yeah,
I like to see Grayson Allen still playing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why did he leave like 2 years ago?
He should have. He would have been a first round pick 2 years ago. Now he probably won't be.
No, he probably won't be drafted.
Yeah,
he'll be playing in China with the balls.
Yeah. And Jimmer Fredette.
Man, imagine the LeVar Ball and Grayson Allen in the same room. Hey, Jimmer Fredette's in China now? I missed that memo. And remember Jimmer Fredette? Hitting the threes from he's like every game.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a big thing too. I think that's a good topic because we still have about 8 minutes left until 45 minutes at least. Well, after editing, but whatever. Our boy, Colin Cowherd.
Oh boy!
Who, I'll have you know, I have not watched The Herd in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Well, I just found other stuff to put on as white noise while I do stuff.
Yeah.
I used to just watch like the first 45 minutes of a show because I can't do 3 hours.
That's too much. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people can't.
Of anybody, I couldn't do 3 hours. I couldn't do 3 hours. Well, I could probably do 3 hours of a show Beetle.
Yeah.
I could watch a 3-hour show of her. Anyway, he said. One opinion he stayed consistent with was just because you're good in the tournament doesn't mean you make it big in the NBA, and you don't have to be good in the tournament to make it big. Okay. Like Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz, right? Others. There are some people who do, but it seems the players who make a name for themselves in the tournament are usually just good in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of probably like Steph Curry.
Oh yeah, but Steph Curry. He was also on Davidson. I remember it was like they made one run. Did they make it to the Sweet 16 one year or further?
They went to the Elite 8 the one year. They lost to the Elite 8, because they'd be like Georgetown, and that ruined everybody's bracket because nobody had them. Because that was back when Georgetown was really good. They had Patrick Ewing Jr. and like other good players.
Before Steph Curry was Steph Curry.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, even then, like that, he still led Davidson in like points and 3-point field goals made and everything like that. He has like multiple records over there.
Just before he knew who he was.
Yeah.
He took notice.
Yeah. He was just babyface assassin back then. But like people probably knew of him just because
analysts probably knew of him and fans probably knew.
Yeah, and his dad played in the NBA too, so
well it was just like now it's like it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy how many people know.
You hit 200 3-pointers or more in 6 straight seasons, it'll happen.
That's insane.
Him and Klay Thompson both did it, and they're the only 2 people to do it.
The game is so... I mean, it's cyclical. I was talking earlier with a coworker about this. He was saying how he wants the NBA and the college 3-point line to be the same. Mm-hmm. And part of me was like, well, if so many players are going one and done anyway, what difference does it make?
I know I think they're looking to expand it, and I think they're doing like a trial run of it this year during the NIT. Of the 3-point line,
I feel so bad for the NIT. It's like, what's the point?
I mean, it could be worse. There's still a tournament that's below the NIT. It's a College Insiders Tournament. It's a CIT.
Oh yeah. But I mean, even then,
you're not. This like the consolation bracket. It's like
the best team.
You just missed the tournament, so we're gonna put you in NIT. You know.
Yeah. I remember one year Florida made the NIT. think my junior year of high school, because it was after they just had their
the back-to-back,
Yeah, and then they made the NIT, and one of my history teachers, he's a huge Penn State fan, like, for everything. One of the few people who I appreciate is a fan of their school in every sport. Like, not just, like...
Not just football. Yeah. Not just, like, the big one,
Yeah, we're not just basketball. Like, he paid attention to
they were really good in... Penn State was, like, really good in volleyball, too, like women's volleyball. Yeah. They were good for a while. They did.
I think they made it to triple digits. Right?
I think so. I think you're right.
They won, like, 103 or 104 straight.
Yeah, it was something crazy like that.
But, so he got on me, because I was wearing one of my many Florida shirts I had in high school, and he came in one day, he was like, oh, yeah, I saw Penn State, like, beat Florida last night, and I was like, it's the NIT.
Yeah, right?
I wasn't really concerned, like...
It's a not in it tournament.
I feel like if you don't make it in, then you don't make it. We don't imagine, like, in the NFL, if every team that didn't make the playoffs played each other just to, like, not win anything.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's how I feel about that NIT.
That's how it is, like, when you're in a consolation bracket, when you lose in fantasy football. It's like, why even bother? Like, I'm not going to set up a lineup for this.
The first year I did fantasy, I played the same kid, like, 3 weeks in a row, because we both lost in the first round. And it was in the playoffs, and I was like, I think it was like a winner-take-all pot, too. I don't think it was like a first, second.
Yeah.
Because we only had, like, 10 people. Yeah, it was like winner take all. So I was like, all right, now that I'm out in the first round, I'm just not even gonna pay attention. Like,
yeah, right.
Because I played them like in the regular season too, and I beat them. I started like 5-0. My first year doing fantasy, starting 5-0. I was like, I should have done this sooner. Boy, did I learn fast.
Yeah, right.
Because I wasn't trading anyone. I was keeping steady lineups. I had Matt Stafford and Matt Ryan as my 2 quarterbacks. Who did I have? I had Julio. No, not Julio Jones. I don't think he was in the league yet. But it was like Torrey Smith, Marquise Colston, Reggie Wayne, and Randall Cobb. That was my receiving core.
I mean, if you're talking early 2010s, yeah.
That's a dynamite receiving
core. Yeah, right.
And I was playing all 4 because of the flex.
Yeah.
You know? I was just dropping, and I started out. Yeah. Who is now part owner of the Philadelphia Soul.
Is he really?
Yeah. There's another former NFL player. I didn't recognize it. But they, like, when the Soul won, they brought up, like, the owners. I was like, Marquise Colston? Like,
I know there's, like, an ownership group that's, like, looking to buy the Panthers. That's, like, that consists of, like, Stephen Curry and Diddy.
I saw that, yeah.
It's probably going to be some other billionaire. But, I mean, Stephen Curry's got a $200 million contract, insane contract.
If Derek Jeter can buy the Marlins.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, exactly. And Diddy's, like, close to a billionaire. Like, he's got a lot of money, so.
I saw his
why not?
On Reddit. It was like, if you had $1 trillion, you could buy every franchise in all 4 major sports and like 200 Teslas and still have money left over. And there's this subreddit called They Did the Math, where they actually check math on these things.
It's pretty funny.
Oh, it's a great subreddit because people go like, all this shit. So somebody actually did the math of what $1 trillion is. And as soon as I read it, I was like, do they realize how much $1 trillion is?
Yeah,
like,
right.
So they combined all the sports. They even added soccer and some European soccer teams. And they're like, do you guys realize how much money that is?
It's a lot. Like
$1 billion is a lot.
Yeah, like, I mean, even the wealthy, like even the Cowboys, which are the wealthiest franchise, is only like $4.3 billion. Yeah. I mean, Barcelona's like, I think it's the next. They're like $4.2 billion or something like that. The Yankees are like 3.8 or 3.9 billion. So yeah, that's a lot of money.
$1 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah,
like you don't realize that. Yeah. So when that stat came up about $1 trillion, I was like, think about it.
Yeah.
Think about $1 billion just for 1 second. Then go up to like $10 billion. Then $100 billion. You do realize like how much money that is. But yeah. So $1 trillion can buy you every sports franchise in the world and a few Teslas. It's money left over. And I was like, how would you not have money left over? It's $1 trillion.
It's $1 trillion. Like, I know, like you said, all the sports franchises are not that expensive.
Yeah, they're not when you think about it.
Yeah.
Especially like some of the lower ones.
Yeah, it's like the smaller market, like the Milwaukee Bucks. They can't be super expensive. Probably like lower bill, like lower $1 billion or somewhere around there. Yeah, just casual $1 billion. I mean, even when Donald Sterling had to sell the Clippers, that was what, $2.1 billion or something like that. Yeah. Which, I mean, when you're the CEO of Apple, or not Apple, Microsoft, with Ballmer. This guy who bought the Steve Ballmer's guy who was like the CEO or something like that of Apple or Microsoft, I should say. He bought the Clippers for $2.1 billion. Easy, casual investment.
Just right off.
And it's not like he's not making money. I'm sure he's making hand over fist.
Oh, definitely. I have a conversation with a lot of coworkers. I feel like that's.
I don't know if you saw the stat, but it was funny when the NBA had fined Mark Cuban because of the comments he had about tanking, and they fined him $600,000. And I saw the stat that said that $600,000 to him is $28 to the average American.
Sounds about right.
Based on the average American income, it's $28. That's insane. That $600,000 is $28 for you. Like,
I can't imagine being that rich.
Yeah, I can't either.
Like, I was talking to one of my coworkers about it, and he's like, just imagine having $1 million. Like, not even in the grand scheme of things, that's not that much.
It's not.
Because all these people have all this crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
But he's like, if I had $1 million, I wouldn't know what to do with it.
No. I would have no clue.
Yeah. I was like, I would buy a house.
Yeah.
But
like a decent house,
Yeah. But pool in the backyard. But I don't know. My house back home, the house I grew up in, is a decent sized house.
Yeah.
Right? I am more than comfortable having, I was in a family of 4. Even a family of 5 in that house could have enough space.
Yeah.
Right. To live peacefully together. It's not like a cramped house.
Yeah.
I feel like anything bigger than it'd be too big,
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, that's
I'm also not
that's our upbringing,
billionaire.
Just to bring it back full circle, the president of High Point was like that. He came over from Turkey or somewhere, and he came with $20 in his pocket and didn't really have a plan and invested and did all this stuff, and then eventually just became president of a university.
Yeah, right.
And then he just spends all the money because they were High Point was pretty stagnant for a while.
Yeah.
And then he came in. He's new dorms.
Yeah.
With marble countertops and all these new full size beds. And these new Greek housing, we're just gonna build new Greek houses, to have them on campus.
Yeah,
so
it's weird because not a lot of universities really support the Greek housing on campus. That's why they're all run down. That's why the frat houses are all run down and nasty. It's 8 guys.
Also, who's living in the house?
Yeah, exactly. That's true too. You go in there, there's the frat house I used to go to all the time. They had the furniture, leftover furniture from the dorms and everything that, with the couches and chairs. I'm this is terrible. These are not comfortable to sit in. But, it is what it is.
One of my favorite things at High Point was my dorm room was across from the, common lounge area on our floor with nice leather couches because why not? So my roommate took a chair, a nice armchair, and moved it into our dorm room. And we went all year having it in our room. Here's the thing. It benefited him because we had 2 TVs in our room.
Yeah.
Right? Because he moved in, after I did, so it wasn't we talked about what we were getting.
Yeah.
So he had a TV where he hooked up his Xbox and played with, his frat brothers.
Yeah.
Well, pledges, but what?
Same thing, yeah.
And then I had my TV on my side, and I had the top bunk. So I would look down at my TV, and he would look from his bunk bed to his TV. And it worked out awesome.
Yeah.
And it also helped me get up to my bunk bed. So that was awesome. And then 2 weeks beforehand, an RA comes in. He's like, is this from the lounge? We're like, yeah. He's like, it's not supposed to be in here. We're like, oh, it's been here all year. He's like, just return it before you move out. He's like, yeah, we got crafty.
Yeah.
52 minutes now. So,
all right.
Unless there's any other anecdotes.
No, I'm good.
That's our March Madness episode.
Yeah,
that took a turn, but whatever. It happens. Wager is on the board. That's the important part.
I need Arizona to win this game because I haven't been going to the Final Four. So they just took their first lead finally.
And Shark is back. All right, March Madness. Andy Nelson's
beer
and a 6-pack of beer of their choice. Squad out.